So right now we're at the entrance to Har HaBayit and Temple Mount. We're about to go up to the holiest site in Judaism. As you can see right behind me is the Western Wall, which is a mere retaining supporting wall of the outer exterior Har HaBayit, the Herodian Western Wall. In this bridge we are allowed to sing songs of rebuilding Jerusalem, rebuilding the Beit HaMikdash, the Holy Temple, and we express signs of Jewish worship here because unfortunately on Har HaBayit we are limited and we are not allowed to, and it is forbidden, but we do not despair. Regardless, we don't give up, we are stubborn, we are insistent, we keep coming up, and for 2,000 years we haven't given up, so we're not about to give up now. We're going to literally be in the place that Hashem chose to dwell with pleasance. This is simply mind-boggling. Follow me. And here we go with the Jewish group. As you can see, Jews pressure before they go, because unfortunately the status quo dictates that it is forbidden to show signs of Jewish worship, of Jewish prayer. Although unfortunately in any normal country that would be considered anti-Semitism, this is the sad reality that we deal with. So welcome to the other side of the Western Wall. It's actually in Sefer Isaiah, in the book of Isaiah, that says that Hashem's, the God of Israel's house, will be a house of prayer for all nations. That even that Jews and non-Jews alike will be able to come up to the Temple Mount and pray to the one above. So in essence, God per se doesn't need a building. He doesn't need a building, but He chose this place to dwell His presence. The building mainly is for us, for the Jewish people, and the nations alike, to serve Him properly. Yes, there are Arabs here. There is Al-Aqsa Mosque that we just passed on the southern side, and there's also, we're supposed to have a Beit HaMikdash here, the Jewish holiest site. The Arabs are here only because we let them be here. Obviously, politically, it's very complicated, it's very complex. That on paper, we have sovereign Israel, the state of Israel has sovereignty on this site, but the Muslim Waqf, the Jordanian Waqf, manage the site. So we're supposed to cooperate and play nice with them, meaning that we control the security apparatus of the exterior Har HaBayit, and the Jordanians manage and are supposed to maintain the site. They even call this place Beit al-Maqdis, which sounds similar to the words Beit HaMikdash, the Holy Temple. So even they admit that eventually there will be a Jewish Holy Temple here. The only reason why we're allowed up here is because the police, thank God, let us up here. If it wasn't for the police, we wouldn't be able to be up here. So we need to appreciate every step towards the complete and full ultimate redemption, and we need to appreciate every step that we take towards that. When we come up here and we do quote-unquote provocations, we're not here to politicize. We're here to exercise our basic Jewish right, which is to pray and to prostrate here and to express our signs of Jewish worship, and it's the most natural thing to do. Like when people make aliyah to Israel, they literally kiss the ground of Ben Gurion Airport. Here, the most natural thing, the holiest sign in Judaism, is to bow and to prostrate your entire body. And also the police, even when they tell us not to pray, unfortunately that is not their problem. It's not their decision. It's really the decision of the Israeli government. But we try our best, and even when they do it, they don't like taking us out. And I talk to police officers, and it really pains them. They are really for us. They sympathize with us. They empathize with us, and they really don't want to take Jews off here because they know deep down in their hearts that what we are doing is just. What we are doing is completely correct and moral and ethical in our holiest site. So it really pains them when they detain a Jew, when they arrest a Jew, when they give a Jew a detaining order. I mean, look, you have the Temple Mount literally right in front of you at your fingertips. This is something that is so beyond mind-boggling. You can't. It's so hard to. It's crazy to comprehend it. Look where we came. Look at where we are. After 2,000 years, we were living as a minority amongst the nations. We finally come home to our own country, and now we finally come home to our Father in heaven. And this, this is the beating heart. This is it. This is the whole ball game. This is really where it's all at. Where our Beit HaMikdash will eventually be rebuilt here. So please God, it shall only be very soon. This is actually called Kipat Hasela, the Dome of the Rock. It's not a mosque, it is a shrine. Under the Golden Dome is the Even HaShtiyah, or the foundation stone, from where the entire world was created from. This is where Abraham almost sacrificed his son Isaac. This is where the struggle between Isaac and angel of Esav took place. This is where Joseph, this is where Yaakov, had his dream of the ladders with the angels going up and down to heaven. This is the meeting point between the earthly temple and the heavenly temple. The first temple was built here, the second temple was built here, and please God, very, very soon, we will merit and be privileged to build the third temple, because we are putting Zion back in Zionism. That's our whole essence here. That is our purpose here, to come back to God, to come back to the land of Israel, to come back to our heritage, and come back to our roots. The amount of Jews that bring up per week, at least hundreds, not dozens, hundreds. I've been bringing people up for the past 2 years, and it is a privilege seeing old, young, seeing religious, secular, Haredi, atheist, it doesn't matter. Jews of all religious backgrounds, of all political affiliations. Again, this is the beating heart of the entire country. You don't need to be religious to feel something. You don't need to be religious to feel something here. You don't need to be atheist to feel something here. We're coming back to the land of Zion. We're coming back home. We're right now in the redemption process, which is completely mind-boggling as it is. But when we were here and the temple is not built, Hashem's presence did not disappear from this world, and we are coming up here because we represent the God of Israel in this world, and in essence, when the tourists come up here, they also represent God, and when they come up here, it's also a sign the fact that the Jewish people are coming back, the nations are returning to Zion, the nations are returning to Jerusalem, and they're not only returning to Jerusalem, but they're returning to the Temple Mount, the place where, as it says in the book of Isaiah, that the God of Israel's house will be a house of prayer for all nations to serve under Him, only one God. I don't know where these people. I don't exactly know where these people are coming from, but it looks like from outside of Israel. They're tourists, and they're coming up here because, again, this place will be a house of prayer for all nations. Shalom, shalom. Hello. Where are you from? Italy. See that? Italy. Fantastic. See this? This is literally redemption. This is eyewitness right here. It's unbelievable here. Thank you guys. Shalom, shalom. Toda rabba. Thank you. Have a meaningful experience. 5 years ago, this wasn't like this. And even a year ago, this wasn't like this. But again, our power is in numbers. Our power is in unity. When we are divided, we are weak. When you are unified, we are strong. That's the message. We need achdut. And the Temple Mount does not divide the nation. Quite the contrary. It unifies the nation. It unifies the love. It unifies the peace and harmony between Jews and non-Jews alike. And over here, the most bottom step here is the original western wall of the Temple Mount. When we say that the divine presence does not leave the western wall, we're talking about this perimeter right here. That after this perimeter, King Herod expanded it, so we're now walking on the addition that King Herod built. He expanded northward, southward, eastward, and westward. You see the symbol over there on the rock? It's the same symbol. You see that? Our currency is right here. This is unbelievable. This is the same symbol on the Israeli 1 shekel coin. So this is proof that we have sources, and we have legitimate eyewitness source that this is where our currency comes from. This is our history. This is our heritage. This is our identity. The God of Israel brought us home after 2,000 years of his decrepit, shameful exile. Baruch Hashem, thank God, the Jewish people are returning to the land, returning to Zionism, and returning to God. Returning to God. Right there, right below the golden chandelier, is the foundation stone. On the most western side of the foundation stone is the Holy of Holies. That's where the two tablets that Moses broke. That was where Moshe's staff is. That's where the two angels are when they faced each other. God was very happy and satisfied with the Jewish people. When the angels turned away from each other and ignored each other, God, let's just say, was not so pleased with the Jewish people. But this is where God's office is. This is the place God chose to dwell His presence, and this is the closest spot that we can get to, because according to Jewish law, we are only allowed into this area to a certain extent. We're not allowed to go all the way through, according to Jewish law. So we do what we can, and we go as close as possible as we can. We are facing this. This is what we're facing right here. This is the Kotel, but this is the original Western Wall right here. This is the border. And this is the holy temple right here. This is where the Mikdash is. This is the sanctuary. Again, the entire place is for all the nations, but specifically the Beit HaMikdash, the 5-10% of the Temple Mount, is solely for the Jewish people. The non-Jews were able to go around the Temple Mount, but only the Jews were able to go inside here. Again, this is the Kotel that most people know of, but this is the Beit HaMikdash that unfortunately, sadly, not many people know. Not Jews and also not non-Jews. But thank God we are educating people. I wanted to say that unfortunately, sadly, this is we're getting towards the end of our visit. And I just wanted to say that it's not every day that we have the opportunity to come up here. It's not easy coming up here, especially in the limited hours that we have as non-Muslims from 7 until 10:30 and then 12:30 to 1:30. It's very hard, practically very difficult. People work, people have families, they need to provide. So we're trying to fight for afternoon, evening, and night hours, and we're trying to fight for also Friday and Shabbat hours, because unfortunately for non-Muslims and for tourists as well, non-Jews, it is closed on Fridays and Shabbat. Again, we're trying to make this place a house of prayer for all nations. We're trying to make this place accessible not only for Muslims, but for everybody. This is the center of humanity. This is where it's all about. This is where all the nations will meet up and praise the one above. This is it. Not only Muslims, but people of all faiths. This is it. Not just Jews. This is all humanity. And hopefully next time we come here, we'll either be in the process of rebuilding the temple, or we already have the temple and we'll already be able to serve God as He wanted us in the past. As they say in Hebrew, Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuvah Chadesh Shemenu Kikedem. May Hashem return us may Hashem, the God of Israel, return us to the days of old.